That cruel voice in your head isn't the truth. Us? It's burnout talking. Most people don't talk about the voice in their head that shows up when the world finally goes quiet. It doesn't interrupt the busy hours. It doesn't compete with noise. It waits patiently for silence. It waits until the dishes are done, the kids are asleep, the lights are low, and you finally sit down. Then it begins, and it knows exactly what to say. It starts softly, almost like a whisper that feels helpful at first. It reminds you of the thing you forgot to reply to, the tone you wish you used differently, the bill you still haven't solved, the goal you promised yourself you would start by now. And before you notice what is happening, the whisper turns into a steady narration about everything you didn't do well enough today. It tells you that you should be further along by now. It tells you other people are managing life better. It tells you that you're behind, that you're slipping, that you should be doing more with the time you have. And the unsettling part is how convincing it sounds. It doesn't sound like an enemy. It sounds like you. It sounds familiar. It sounds personal. But here's a truth that rarely gets said out loud. That voice is not your wisdom. It is not your character. It is not your true self. That voice is what burnout sounds like when it learns your language and uses your memories as evidence. Burnout is not always dramatic. It does not always look like collapse or tears or breakdowns. Sometimes it looks like functioning, smiling, showing up, and still feeling heavy inside. Sometimes it looks like being dependable while quietly exhausted. Burnout grows when effort stays high and recovery stays low, when you keep pouring out without refilling, when your nervous system never fully powers down. The inner critic often grows in people who care deeply, people who want to do right by their families, people who try to be responsible, people who carry invisible loads. The voice develops because your brain is trying to keep you alert, trying to keep you improving, trying to prevent mistakes. It believes pressure equals protection. It believes criticism keeps you sharp. But pressure is not support, and fear is not guidance. If you listen closely, that voice rarely gives clear solutions. It rarely says, "Here is one small step to fix this." Instead, it circles blame. It replays worries. It highlights flaws. That is not strategy. That is mental fatigue replaying old recordings. A brain under chronic stress becomes more negative by default. This is not a personality flaw. It is survival design. A stressed brain scans for problems. It looks for risks. It remembers what went wrong more than what went right. It does this to protect you. In modern life, that protection can feel like self-attack because the threats are not lions or storms. They are deadlines, expectations, and emotional loads. Think about how you speak to someone you love on their worst day. You soften your tone. You give understanding. You remember their effort. Yet the voice in your head often gives you none of that kindness. That mismatch is a clue. It shows the voice is not your heart. It is your overload speaking loudly. Another truth that brings relief is this. Thoughts are not commands. They are mental events. Your brain produces thousands every day. Some are useful, some are random, some are leftovers from stress. You do not have to obey a thought just because it appears. A thought can be present without being true. A powerful shift happens when you change one sentence. Instead of saying, "I'm failing," you say, "My mind is being harsh right now." That small change creates distance. Distance creates choice. Choice gives you power. Power quiets panic. When you stop merging with every thought, you begin observing them. You notice patterns. The harshest thoughts arrive when you are tired, overstimulated, or emotionally drained. That is not coincidence. That is your nervous system asking for care in the only language it knows. Burnout does not always mean you dislike your life. Sometimes it means you have been strong for too long without support. It means your system has been in output mode without enough input. It means you have been reliable and resilient, but not always replenished. Here is something freeing. You do not need to win arguments with your inner voice. You do not need to silence it. You only need to question its authority. When it speaks, ask one simple question. Is this useful right now? If it does not lead to a clear, constructive step, it does not deserve your energy. That single filter can change your mental environment. It separates noise from guidance. It teaches your brain that not every thought earns attention. Attention is fuel. What you fuel grows. Another gentle truth is that self-criticism is often learned. Many people grew up believing pressure creates success. They learned to push themselves because praise was rare or expectations were high. That strategy may have helped you survive earlier chapters of life. But survival strategies are not always healthy, lifelong strategies. Your mind may still be using old tools for new situations. Recognizing that is not weakness. It is awareness. Awareness is the doorway to change. You cannot redesign what you do not notice. Real mental strength is not a quiet mind. It is knowing which thoughts deserve trust. Strong people are not free from negative thoughts. They simply don't treat every thought as truth. They let some pass like background noise while choosing which ones to engage. Compassion is not laziness. Compassion is fuel. When you treat yourself with understanding, your nervous system calms. When your nervous system calms, your thinking improves. When your thinking improves, your decisions improve. That is biology, not motivational talk. Imagine speaking to yourself the way you would speak to a close friend after a hard day. Not fake positivity, not denial, just steady understanding. That tone signals safety to your body. Safety allows recovery. Recovery restores clarity. Recovery is not a luxury. It is maintenance. Your phone needs charging. Your brain does too. Moments where nothing is demanded. No performing, no fixing, no proving. Even small moments of true rest tell your system it can stand down. Many people wait for vacations to feel human again, but your nervous system needs daily micro-recovery. Small pockets of quiet, a slow walk, a few deep breaths, a minute without screens. These look small, but they reset your stress response. Over time, something surprising happens. The cruel voice softens, not because you fought it, but because you stopped feeding it. When you stop reacting to every harsh thought, your brain learns it is not important. The volume lowers. Change rarely looks dramatic. It looks like fewer inner arguments. It looks like faster recovery after hard days. It looks like catching a harsh thought and choosing not to follow it. Small shifts compound quietly into real transformation. You are not behind. You are navigating a demanding world with a human nervous system. That alone deserves compassion. Your value does not drop on tired days. Your worth is not measured by productivity. Your effort counts even when results are slow. Mental elevation does not start with pressure. It starts with compassion. It starts with noticing overload. It starts with giving yourself the same humanity you give others. If that voice shows up tonight, try this. Notice it. Name it. Say, "That's burnout talking." Then return to the present moment. Feel your breath. Feel your body. Thoughts are weather, not identity. You are the sky, not the storm. Storms pass when they are not chased. The women who grow strongest over time are not the ones who never struggle. They are the ones who learn how to care for their minds while carrying responsibility. They learn when to push and when to soften. They learn that kindness toward themselves is sustainability. If your inner voice has been cruel lately, see it as a signal, not a verdict. A signal that you need rest, support, or gentler expectations. Signals can be responded to. Verdicts feel final. This is not final. This is adjustable. You are allowed to grow without hating yourself into it. You are allowed to improve without punishing yourself. You are allowed to be a work in progress and still be enough today. And as you practice this, your internal world becomes a place of guidance instead of judgment. A place where thoughts serve you instead of scare you. A place where your mind becomes a partner instead of a critic. Your story is not one bad day. It is thousands of efforts no one sees. It is resilience in quiet forms. It is love in action. It is showing up when tired. That deserves recognition, especially from you. The cruel voice is not the truth. It is a tired signal from a system that needs care. When care increases, criticism decreases. When rest improves, clarity returns. When compassion grows, strength becomes sustainable. You are not failing. You are human in a high-demand world, and humans need recovery, not ridicule. If this message helped you feel understood, subscribe and watch the next video. And if you're serious about getting results and building a calmer, stronger mind, click the link below and get yours now.